All right, so it says 3.1 statements and logical connectives. So what is a statement? A statement is a sentence that can be judged either true or false. So it has to be written in the form where it can either be true or false. Otherwise, it's not considered a statement. Labeling a statement true or false is called assigning a truth value to the statement. So, for example, the sky is blue. That would qualify as a statement because it's either true or it's false. But you couldn't say like, I like jazz music, because that doesn't have a true or false kind of binary component to it. So that would not be considered a statement. All right, a simple statement, a sentence that conveys one idea. For example, Ashley is making breakfast. That would be considered a simple statement because it's conveying just one idea. A compound statement is going to be more than one idea. A sentence that combines two or more simple statements. All right, so two or more. This is one idea, true or false. For example, Ashley is making breakfast and Josh is setting the table. So that's a compound statement because there are two ideas being conveyed. One is making breakfast and the other one's setting the table. So the key word is and. That's what makes it a compound statement. The connectives often used to join two statements are, these are the ones that combine the two statements. The connectives are called not, and, or, if then, if and only if. So those are some key words you'll be seeing a lot in this chapter. Not statements are called negations, and it's symbolized by this symbol. So I think it's called a tilde. I think that's what they call these, but they're just like these squiggly lines, and that's how you negate a statement. So if you want to give the opposite value, you do this, and that just means not. All right, so here's an example. The negation of Steve is a college student is Steve is not a college student. So that would be the negation because of the word not. All right, in symbolic form, so what we usually do in logic is you assign letters to statements and then you represent it in symbolic form instead of writing it in a sentence. So for example, let the letters P, Q, or R represent simple statements that are not negated. Therefore, we will let P represent the simple statement, Steve is a college student. All right, so P is equal to this. So in symbolic form, how would you write Steve is not a college student?
So would it be P with the little squiggly line?
P.
Yeah, exactly right. But they always put it in the front. So in the front and then the P. So that means
Because he's not the college student. Got it.
Yeah, because without that squiggly line, it's Steve is a college
He is a
student.
college student.
With it, that means not. He's not a college student. So yeah, you always put it in the front. All right. Example number 2, given P, P is now, my dog is in the car. Write the following statement in symbolic form. My dog is not in the car. So what would we write?
Squiggly line, P.
Line and P.
Yeah, that is not in the car. The dog is not in the car. Very good. All right. And statements. So the conjunction is symbolized by, so the key word is conjunction here, and that means symbolized by and. So and is this notation. So it's kind of like, remember when we were doing sets, this was or, this was and.
Yeah.
Same thing. This is and, but it's instead of, it's not curved, it's
Not
sharp.
curved.
It's
Oh.
sharp.
Point.
It's
Like
point.
an arrowhead.
Yeah, like an arrowhead. And then or is going to be the upside down V. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, here's your and. Other words that are sometimes used to express a conjunction are but, however, and nonetheless. So in the English language, you'll see these words come up. And that means the same thing as and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are words to look out for. All right, so here is an example. Ashley is making breakfast and Josh is setting the table. So let P and Q represent the following statements. So here's P. Ashley is making breakfast. They tell you that that's P here. And Q is John is setting the table. In symbolic form, how would you write this in symbolic form?
P, arrowhead, Q.
Arrow, Q.
Yeah, you got it. So that is right. So P and Q
Q.
is the correct answer because this is your P part. This is your and
Q.
this is your Q. All right. So let's look at example 4. Given P, John will go to the zoo. So now they define P to be John will go to the zoo. Q will be John will go to the gym. Write each statement in symbolic form. John will go to the zoo and John will go to the gym. How would you write that?
P, arrowhead, and Q.
Yeah, so P, that's he's going to the zoo
Mhm.
and going to the gym. Very good. John will not go to the zoo, but John will go to the gym. So there's a couple keywords here.
So squiggly line, P,
P,
arrowhead,
arrowhead, Q.
Yeah, so that's not going to the zoo, but that's the same thing as an and, right?
Right.
uh-huh.
And then John will go to the gym is Q, right?
Right.
Yes.
All right, that is correct. That's how you write that in symbolic form. So hopefully this isn't too bad, as long as you memorize negations, ands, and so far that's all we've learned, negations and ands. All right, now we're going to get into what they call a disjunction. That means or, and we've already mentioned that or looks like
A V.
Yeah, there it is. It's a V. So Jim likes to watch TV or he likes to read a book. They haven't. Okay, so here they define it. Jim likes to watch TV. That's your P. Jim likes to read a book. That's your Q. And so how would you write this?
P, V, Q.
Q.
Yeah, that is right. Because this is your P statement, your or disjunction, and your Q statement. All right. So,
So is disjunction or is it
yeah,
or?
the or is the disjunction.
Oh,
These three things are the same thing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, in conjunction, that would be this one. Conjunction is the and.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. Let's look at example number 6. Let P be John will go to the zoo. Q will be John will go to the gym. Write each statement in symbolic form. So how would you write John will go to the zoo or John will go to the gym?
P, V, Q.
Q.
The Q, I guess we already did that one over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, it's the same one. All right, this one will be
Squiggly line, P, V, squiggly line, Q.
yeah, this one, they're both negated. The P is negated, or the Q is also negated because they both say not. All right, let P be the teacher is at the whiteboard. Q will be the students are in their desks. Right, the students are not in their desks, or the teacher is not at the whiteboard. So what would go first?
Squiggly line,
Quickly line.
P.
P.
Careful.
No.
Oh, squiggly line, Q. The students is
Yeah,
first.
Oh, okay.
the students are not in their desks, so that's Q. So you do just have to be a little bit careful with the order. All right, and then or is the
V, and then
V,
squiggly line,
I,
P.
P.
P is a whiteboard. Yeah. All right, there you go. So yeah, sometimes you need to just be careful with the order and which things are occurring. All right, now there's a 3-statement example. So now there's 3 statements. P is dinner includes soup, Q is dinner includes salad, and R, dinner includes bread. All right, dinner includes soup and salad or bread. So how would you write this statement in symbolic form?
P, comma,
Uh,
Q, comma, V,
V,
Okay,
R.
okay.
this is gonna be an and, right? And then salad is Q,
Q,
and then or
Or,
R.
all right, so the commas have to be grouped. See the comma? The same side of the comma is to be grouped together. So this is key. So wherever the comma is, these two have to go together, be grouped together because they're on the same side of the comma. So salad or bread have to be in parentheses. So
Oh,
that's what the
Got
comma
it.
does.
oh, okay. So when they're together, you put parentheses.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, and the comma will separate the things that should be in parentheses. So this,
oh,
on the left side, the soup is by itself, but on the right side, you have salad or bread. So these two have to be.
Oh, because you can get soup and salad or soup or bread.
yeah.
Yeah, you can either get these two
Got
things
it.
and this. Yeah, you can get this and this, or this and this. All right.
Got it.
What's the difference between the second one? How would you write the second one?
The second one would be soup and salad in parentheses.
Parentheses.
And then you will put the V bread on the outside of the parentheses.
Yeah, you're right. Because the comma's moved a little bit over now.
Yeah, they grouped soups and salad together and moved the comma over behind salad.
Yeah, so now these two are grouped together. And so those go together, and then R is by itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this chapter is gonna be a lot of reading and pay attention to words
Yeah.
and symbols. Got it.
Just like little details and commas and ands and ors and things like that. Yeah. All right, cool. So this is key. I'm going to just highlight this so that you guys remember that this is important. All right, let's move on to the next if then. So now there's if then statements. So it's called the conditional statement. And if then means conditional, and it's symbolized by this arrow. And red if then. So the statement blank is red if P then Q. All right, so the statement P arrow Q is red if P then Q. So that's how you would read this in logic. It's if P then Q. The conditional statement consists of 2 parts. The part that precedes the arrow, that means comes before, and the part that antecedent, which is after. And the part that follows is a consequent. Okay, let's see. Let P and Q represent the following simple statements. So P is the chili is spicy, the sour cream is cold. Is Q? Write the following statement in symbolic form. If the chili is spicy, then the sour cream is cold. So anybody know how you would write this?
P arrow Q.
Yeah, that's right.
Arrow Q.
That means if P, then Q. If the chili is spicy, then the sour cream is cold.
Oh, okay.
All right. It is false that if the sour cream is not cold, then the chili is spicy. This one is tricky. So let's ignore that if it is false that. Let's just pretend that's not there for now. Let's just write this statement first. All right. So how would you write the first part?
Q
Q.
arrow P.
But it says here, not,
Squiggly line, Q,
yeah,
arrow,
squiggly,
then P.
yeah, squiggly line Q, because that's the sour cream is cold, so not cold. So not cold. Let me move this over a little. So not cold, then what would go after the arrow?
P.
Yeah, P. So P. But then now you look at this part, it is false that. So you have to negate the whole thing because it is false that. So that's where you have to remember, you have to just put everything in parentheses and you have to negate the whole thing. Because this whole statement is false. So you have to negate the entire thing. So you have to put everything in parentheses and then write the squiggly line in the front. That's how you write it is false that. So that's what that means.
Got it. So basically you would work the statement first and then go back and put the false part.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
All right. So whenever you see a sentence that starts with it is false, just kind of ignore it for the in the meantime in the beginning and then write out the statement first. And then at the end, you just put everything in parentheses and negate. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Let's look at the next example. It says let P and Q represent the following simple statements. The tent is pitched, the bonfire is burning. Write the following compound statement in symbolic form. If the tent is not pitched, then the bonfire is not burning. So what would you start off with first?
Wiggly line, P, arrow, squiggly line, Q.
Yeah, I think that looks right to me because you got if it's not pitched, that's not P. And then if then, that means the arrow. The bonfire is not burning, that's not Q. Yeah. All right, cool. That is right. All right, let's look at the next one. It says if and only if. All right, this is the last one. If and only if is called a biconditional statement. And that's a two-sided arrow. And it's read if and only if. So whenever you see the statement if and only if, you always want to include the two-sided arrow. The statement blank means if P then Q. If Q then P. Oh, okay, so if you do the two-sided arrow, that means that basically it works both ways. If P then Q, and also if Q then P. So it's basically the same thing as an if then statement, but not only does it go in that direction, it also goes in the opposite direction. If P then Q, and also if Q then P. So it's just like a two statements in one. So that's what they're saying here. It means both of these things. All right, so it does mean both of this. Okay, so let's look at an example. If P, now let P and Q represent the following statements. I eat bananas, it is Tuesday. Write the following compound statement in its symbolic form. I do not eat bananas, if and only. I think that's a typo. It should say, I do not eat bananas. All right, I do not eat bananas if and only if, see that?
If and only if it's not Tuesday.
So what letter would I start off with first?
Please. Squiggly line.
Squiggly line.
Squiggly line. I do not eat. Squiggly line P.
Yeah, because that's I eat bananas, but I do not eat bananas would be squiggly line P. Very good. If and only if. How do I write if and only if?
If and only. Yeah, I'm stuck on that one.
That would be the two-sided arrow.
Two-sided arrow. Okay.
If and only if is always the two-sided arrow.
Oh, okay.
And then it is not Tuesday would be,
Q.
almost,
Line Q.
yeah, squiggly line Q, right? There you go. So, I do not eat bananas if and only if it is not Tuesday. Yeah. All right, so that's how you would break that down into symbolic form. Let's look at the last table, the summary. So negation, anybody remember what's the symbol for negation? Squiggly line, right?
Big line.
What would be the symbol for conjunction? It's that like upside down V. Disjunction, that's your V.
It's the V.
Conditional, that means
Arrow.
one-sided arrow, yeah.
Next one will be 2 arrows.
Yeah, and biconditional means two-sided arrow. Okay, and then you got the arrow going in both directions. All right, let me, someone's at the door. Give me 1 second. The way you read it is, let me fix this arrow. It's a little crooked. This one's read, not, right?
Not.
This one would, anybody remember what this, how you would read this symbol?
Um,
And
is it?
And, yeah, and
Oh, okay.
then the next one,
Was it or?
or, and then this one,
Um, what's that one?
it's gonna
If
be if, then, and then this would be,
What was that? If, then, or? No,
it's if and only if,
only if, okay.
and only if. What do they want us to write here? Negation? Symbolic form? Huh. I guess you're just supposed to write like 2 letters, I guess, so. Not P, P and Q, P or Q. If P, then Q. If and only if P, if and only if Q. P, if and only if Q. All right, so that's, I guess that's what they want us to write in that box, in that column. Let me see, is there anything else? Oh, wow, there is even more. All right, let's take a 10-minute break and then we'll come back and we'll do the next page. So this is a good summary of everything that we kind of learned. Now let's do a few more examples. All right, consider the statements.
Professor, can you go back to that really, really quickly?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, the chart. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right, perfect. All right, so this one says, consider the statements. You have P, the shoe is red, Q, the hat is white. Rewrite the statement in English, and this is the symbolic form. So how would we start off with P? We'd write that, right?
Yeah, you would just write P.
P.
The shoe is red. And then how would I write this in English?
And. The head.
And, right? That would be and.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then how would you write this in English?
The hat is not white.
The head is, let me see.
Yeah, you got it. The hat is not white. All right, there it is. So we just rewrote this in English form. The shoe is red and the hat is not white. Perfect. All right, let's look at this one. This one's a little bit more challenging because it's got, remember the parentheses with the negation? Anybody remember what to start with if that's the case?
It is false that.
Yeah, very good. It
False.
is false that, then the parentheses,
The taxes are high. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I work hard. Is
Uh,
Q. Q is
uh,
first.
yeah, but how do we start with the arrow?
If then, or
Yeah.
if I work hard,
If, yeah, if
Yeah.
I work hard, very good. Whoops. If I work hard, that's your
then
cue,
then the taxes are not high.
then the taxes are not high. The taxes are not,
Right.
not high. All right, very good. Yeah, so let's double check that. This part is, it is false that, and then the inside part would be, if I work hard, then the taxes are not high because of the squiggly line. All right, perfect. That was it. Yeah. All right, let's look at this one. P is, it is raining outside. Q is, it is snowing outside. Then R is, the road is muddy. So now we have to write this. So first, how would we write the P, this part? So first we write the P part, the P first, which is, it
It's
is
rain outside.
raining outside. And then what does this symbol mean?
Or,
Or
Or, yeah,
or,
or, it is snowing outside.
snowing.
And then what should I do about the parentheses? What does that mean to do?
and then it's gonna be and raining. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a comma behind outside because those two are grouped together.
'Cause they're blue
yeah, because they're
And
grouped.
then you put and raining
and raining.
And,
outside.
oh, no, it's R, right?
Or and road, and the road is muddy. Sorry.
And the road is muddy. Yeah, so very good. It is raining outside or it is snowing outside. That's the parentheses part. Then the road is muddy is that part. So very good. There it is. And so I'll just or and. All right, let's look at this one. Let me see, is that the, yeah, this is the last page. Write the negation of each statement. So how do we negate the statement? Anybody know what that would say if we were to negate it? Well, you would just write the not. California is not a state. That would be the negation of that statement. All right, and then this is where it gets a little tricky. It says a common mistake students make is that they write the negation of the statement above as no swimming pools are rectangular. Okay, so we have to negate all swimming pools are rectangular. So instead of saying all of the swimming pools are rectangular, the negation would say some pools are not rectangular. Because the opposite of all swimming pools being rectangular would be some swimming pools are not rectangular. So that's how you would negate that statement. Some swimming pools are not rectangular. So you're kind of thinking, think of this as a true statement. How do you make it false?
False.
You make it false by saying some swimming pools are not rectangular. So that's how you would make this a false statement, by changing the word all to some. And then are rectangular would be are not rectangular. Right, so it says here, a common mistake that students make is that they write the negation of statement above as no swimming pools are rectangular. But that wouldn't be the negation, because all swimming pools are rectangular is a false statement. The negation must be true. So the way you negate no swimming pools are rectangular, that's not a true statement. You have to say some swimming pools are not rectangular. That's the correct negation. So it's kind of, you just have to be very careful with the wording. Here's another way you could have written it. You could have also said not all pools are rectangular.
Mm,
So
okay.
that's even, sometimes there's more than one way to write it. All right, so the key word is all. The way you want to negate all is by saying some, and then are, that would become are not.
No, no.
All right, so let's look at this one. How would you negate some insects can fly?
Not all insects can fly.
Very good, yeah. Not all, or some, yeah. Not all insects can fly.
Okay.
That's a great way to negate it, yeah. Because if this is false, right? There's some insects that can't fly. We know this is false. Ants, for example, can't fly. So, or I guess some ants can't fly. So how do you make that into a true statement? You say, not all insects can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, some mango trees do not produce mangoes. This is I guess that's a true statement, right? Maybe some mango trees do not produce mangoes for whatever reason. So how would you make that a true statement?
Not all mango trees produce wait a minute.
I mean, a false statement, because this is true. So how do you make it into a false statement? Some mango trees do not produce mangoes.
So, all mango trees. Not all mango trees produce mangoes.
Yeah, I think that's right. Let's write it out. Not all mango trees produce mangoes. So do these two statements say opposite things? Let me see. Some mango trees do not produce mangoes. Not all mango trees produce mangoes. Or are they saying the same thing, or are they saying something different?
Some mango trees do. I think it's kind of.
Actually, they're saying the
It
same.
should- So should it say all mango trees produce mangoes?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Because we're trying to put it as a true statement, right?
Oh, we're just trying to say the opposite is what
Trying to say the opposite.
Okay, so it'd be
Yeah.
all, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're trying to say the opposite. So the opposite of some would be all. Do not produce trees would be do produce. I mean, do not produce mangoes means does
Okay.
produce mangoes. So yeah, this is the opposite of this, right? Yeah. So let's go. How come this? Can we write this in the form of all? Some
All
insects can fly. All insects cannot fly. So you could have said or, I'll just say or. All insects can not fly. But I like the way you wrote it. This one sounds a little bit better to me than this, even though they mean the same thing. Sometimes you can write it more than one way, but you always want to choose the way that makes the most sense to you. For me, this one makes more sense, but this is equivalent to. All right, let's look at the last one. No trucks have 3 wheels. What would be the opposite of no trucks have 3 wheels?
All trucks have 3 wheels.
Wheels.
Um, well, not all, but
Not-
you could just say
Some?
some. Yeah,
Some.
some
Okay,
trucks have 3 wheels. All right, some trucks have 3 wheels. Okay, so let's see. Some, if you negate that, that would become all, right?
oh,
None or no would become some, right? And then all some. So if you negate some, that means all. If you negate none, that means some. And if you negate all, that means
mm,
some as well. Like over here, all swimming pools are rectangular. Some swimming pools are not rectangular. All right, yeah, this is a little tricky. You just have to be kind of careful with this. Let's see if we can do a couple homework problems. So if you go to your module,
Professor, can you go back to that so I can write it down really quickly?
yes. I've included the link for those of you that don't have the book yet. You can click on that. And then let's see, maybe we can do, let's see, 7. Those are kind of easy. Let's look at maybe 17, write the negation of the statement. So you have to negate the statement. So you have to write it so that it's the opposite. So maybe do 17, skip 19, do 21. Actually, we already did 21, didn't we?
yeah,
Yeah, so you don't have to do that one. So just do 17 and then maybe 25. And then 29. All right, and then maybe 33. So just do start with 17, skip 19, do well, you can skip 21 because we were already done it. And then skip 23, do 25, skip 27, do 29. And yeah, so maybe work in your groups for like 10 minutes and then we'll come back and check our